Welcome back to the video. It's Thursday evening and I'm racing on Saturday morning, so I'm going to take you guys through my race prep. I'm starting a couple days early because I like to spread it out so that I'm not super stressed the night or the morning before the race. That's pretty critical, and I'm really bad about trying to do everything last minute and then stressing out, so this is going to help me out a ton. One of the reasons why I want to take you guys through this is that I haven't raced in 4 months, so I'm kind of rusty. So it's going to help me break it down for myself, but maybe you guys will get something from it and it might help you too. So we're going to start first with the bike. We got to get the bike clean because a clean bike is a fast bike. So we're going to start there. If your drivetrain gets gunky, that could actually be a couple of watts lost. So we're going to use some muck off drivetrain cleaner. And also, it's good to clean it first because that way anything nasty that gets on the frame, you're gonna wash off in just a minute. Now that that's cleaned up, we're gonna move on to the rest of the bike. I'm actually gonna take the wheels off because I wanna make sure that I get in there really good. And when you're doing this pre-race wash, part of your goal is to inspect the bike to make sure that there's no issues or broken lines or anything that you need to fix prior to the race. Bike's clean. I am going to clean the wheels, but real quick before I do that, I replaced a tire on the back wheel and added sealant, but I have not added any sealant to the front wheel, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that really quick. Oh, there's still quite a bit in there, but we definitely need more. Just gonna pour some in. I'm gonna rotate it around. So this is the Brinker charge pump. So it's got this canister that you can pump with air and it will let you seat the bead of a tire. Super handy to have while traveling. Right over there. Okay, all right. Should be fine. I shouldn't have to really move the sealant around since there was still sealant in there. Now we'll give her a wash. I run SRAM Access, so everything has a battery. The two front shifters run on a CR2032 and the rear has a SRAM Access battery, so I'm using the SRAM app to check the battery status. The front controllers, both the two shifters, their battery is pretty much full and the rear is pretty much full too, so I don't actually need to charge anything. I'm also going to check my power meter battery just in case, because it would suck not to have power for this race. And it's good as well. But I do need to charge all my camera equipment, so GoPro, big camera, drone, all that stuff I'll charge tonight. And I'll actually mount the GoPro back on the bike tomorrow. That way I don't have to worry about it, because sometimes it causes a little bit of drama because it mounts right here and it uses a screw that is a hex and a bolt. So it's not super easy. It's not the standard little GoPro hand screw. So I like to get it mounted early. The next thing that I'm gonna do to finish off the bike prep is I'm going to check the bolts to make sure they're tight with a torque wrench. So I just check things like the stem and the bottle cages, the derailleur, just all the basic stuff, just so that you don't have something stupid happen like your saddle come down in the middle of a race. I realized the other day that I didn't have a multi-tool in my new little micro pack I have on my saddle bag. So I'm gonna go ahead and shove one in here. That wraps up the bike portion of race prep. I will take my Garmin out tonight and charge it. That way tomorrow I can put it with all my stuff and I don't have to worry about it. It's good to go. I don't have to think about getting it off the charger the morning of the race, but batteries are good, bike is good, the pack is good. All I gotta do is mount the GoPro back to the bike tomorrow. The other thing I'm doing is I'm using my notes app on my phone to make a checklist of things that do need to be done tomorrow, like remembering to grab the GoPro, because it's easy to kind of forget that type of stuff pretty easy. So I'm gonna put the camera down for the rest of the night and I'll pick this back up tomorrow when race prep continues.
The next day.
It is now the next day and I just got off work and I'm gonna knock out the rest of the race prep so that I can take it easy and relax the rest of the evening and get to bed early. So the first thing that I've done today is I've checked the weather on my phone, on the weather app. At the race start at 9 a.m., it's gonna be 40 degrees, it's gonna be sunny, and the wind's not as brutal as it normally is. And then within 2 hours, it's gonna start heating up pretty quickly. It's gonna be like 47. So I'm gonna dress to be a little bit colder at the start. I've already made my decision about exactly what I want to wear. You can stress so much about what to wear for a race. I'm gonna set out my kit so that I've got easy access to it in the morning because I'm actually gonna get dressed in it before I leave the house. Fun fact for you, I've raced in the same sports bra ever, like always worn the same one for every race. I'm not superstitious, but that's just, I don't know, it just happened. Once that's done, I'm gonna pack a bag with some after race clothes because I'll obviously want to change out of my dirty kit after the race and put on some nice comfy clothes. So I'm just gonna fill this bag up with normal people clothes. This is my bike box where I actually keep all my bike gear. I usually leave this in my car, but since it's been winter and I've not been riding outdoors as much, it's pretty much become a complete mess. So I want to take out all the stuff that I don't need for the race because tomorrow morning I don't want to be trying to figure out which helmet I'm supposed to be wearing for the race or why I have a mountain bike tube in here. So I'm gonna kind of clean this up real quick and just get the essentials in here. The bike box is now cleaned up. I pretty much have the essentials. I have my shoes, my helmet, my sunglasses, which I went ahead and cleaned, put the Garmin in here, and then I have hair bands, lube, stuff to clean up with, all the essentials for the flat that will be in my pocket. Basically, the box is now ready, except for it needs the last important piece, and that is my nutrition for the race. So I've already thought through my nutrition plan, so I'm not gonna go into it in huge detail, but kind of what I looked at was how intense the race was gonna be, and since it's the first race of the year, they always hurt really bad, and I just expect there to be a lot of fast pace and a lot of steep climbs, so I'm gonna rely a lot on gels and chews. Cool for sure. I went ahead and got my bottles ready, but I'm not going to put the drink mix in them just yet because I don't want it set at the bottom. So I set my container out so that I'll put the mix in the morning. The container's out so I'll see it, it's easy to get to, and the bottles are in the refrigerator. So the bike box is done otherwise. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the car as well as my clothes for after the race tomorrow. Basically all that's left to do in the morning is I gotta get my camera gear and I just have to get my cooler and basically myself. That's it. So I've reduced a ton of stress. The next step is to figure out what time to leave for the race. So it's always easy to work backwards. The race starts at 9 a.m. and I know I want to be there an hour and a half early. There's 350 people coming to this race and it's a very small town, so parking is going to be a stress in itself. So getting there earlier is going to help with that. We are now about to head for dinner, the pre-race meal. There was a waiver that I was able to pre-print and sign, which is gonna make the check-in process tomorrow at the race so much quicker. So this is another thing you can do to ease stress. All right, we're headed to get some sushi. That is pretty sunset. I have consumed the sushi for the pre-race meal. I'm not overly full. That's always the goal for me, is to just kind of like spread load the additional carbs over a couple days. But now we are creeping and cruising and we're about to get some Girl Scout cookies. Oh yeah. They didn't even have the s'mores cookies that I wanted. So I just finished making my overnight oats for in the morning because basically that's just another step that I can do tonight. That's a wrap on the race prep. I'm just gonna take it easy the rest of the night. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe because the next video is gonna be the race. I'll see you guys then.